Hello, everyone. Welcome to another fun episode of Crash Course. I'm so glad that you guys are here. Oh my gosh, the chats are rolling in. I see that Carlos is here. Carlos is the first one, and he's been waiting for us. Thank you, Carlos. I see Florencia. I see Hobby. I see Lord. I see Hadi Maro. I see Atik, Annoyed Impala, Baldur Gaming, Hugh, Fawn, Caesar, Skywalker. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. We're also going live on the TikTok side. We are super excited to meet you and come back for this episode. Hi, everyone. So nice to see you guys. Okay, Florencia already telling us, love this style, using the notes, clap to the graphic designer and the art director. Yes, our design team is the most phenomenal. I literally tossed them an idea, like I would like to transition where like there are a bunch of notes and then it just changes your screen, or it's an intro image, and they just whipped it out like 10 times better than I could imagine it. And I'm just like, wow, these people are legendary, and I'm so fortunate to be working with them. But do you know who else I'm also very fortunate to work with? It is Melody.
Oh, hello. Hi, everyone.
Melody, who is our interactive engineer. If you guys are regulars, you might have seen her on the stream a couple times before, but she is the talented mind behind a bunch of the templates that you see, and she's been giving us amazing tips from day one. So we're really excited to have you here, Melody. How are you feeling today?
Hi, Celine, and hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here. It's a really nice Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
And
When
this
Melody
is
was
the
saying
first.
that, like, hello everyone, I just immediately think of the template videos. Guys, when I'm the person who's like behind the computers, like editing those videos, so I rewatch a lot of those template videos, and then Melody always starts off with her like cheerful voice, like, hello everyone, and every time I hear that, I'm like, oh my gosh.
You're just making me feel a little bit shy.
Well, you deserve it. Oh my gosh, so many people are in the chat. It's incredible. Hi, Joe. Hi, Jabet. Hi, Liberto. Nice to see you again. Reem, FF, Habib, Cyril, and a bunch of other people. So thank you so much, guys, for coming. Today's episode is going to be versatile variables. So you guys must have been like tuning into our previous video series. You'll know that variables is something that you can use to make your amazing effect. But Melody, can you tell us more about like what a variable is and how to use them?
Yeah, of course. Thank you, Celine. And just something beside that. This is the first time I'm using our office studio to do this live. I'm super excited. You probably think I'm looking at the camera, but later I'm probably like typing on the a computer, and my eyes were looking at the computer screen. Yeah, it's a little bit like.
But just know that you guys in the audience right here will always be in Melody's heart. So even though she's looking down, she's always looking at you guys. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But
yeah.
look
Okay.
at the screen quality. Look at how beautiful she looks. I'm jealous. I'm gonna have to fly over there and join your studio next time. But
Of course, yeah. Come to join me, and we can share the same screen. Yeah, we were in the same screen. Yeah.
that would be a dream. But Melody, going back to the point, like, what is variables?
Sure, of course. So, variable, you can think it as like a container, and this is like a box. You can save something into that box. You can set it the properties or some characteristics for that like a variable and save it into the box. And the good thing of that is when you save something into the box later, you can get all the information you just set it and reuse it. So that is the good thing about that. And in our visual scripting, the great thing is for variable, we support different types, like the basic, like a float, and also like vector 2, vector 3, vector 4, and color type. And most exciting things is like we support like a scene object. And one more thing is besides of like these different variable types, we also support to make them like as an array format, which is a really great thing when you like make games or like a complicated effects. That will be super useful. Yeah.
I think that is a really good point. One thing that really helped me get the concept of what a variable is, like, is let's say you put in an input. If you on there, you could tell it to go for 30 times. But what if your user wants to do it for 10 times or 50 times? By having a variable that is controllable, you can basically do things like connect it to a slider so that your user can control how much the value is. So something like that where you can use it in more diverse ways, I think is super, super helpful. So we have an agenda for today. Some of you guys who might have seen our Instagram story might have seen a sneak peek of this, but let me transition over. We're gonna do the find the odd one template. So look at this cute asset. We actually found this asset in the asset library within Effect House, and we're like, this is incredible. This is so cute. I can't believe that we have all of these cute assets. But basically, like when you see a bunch of the same object and then only one of them is different, and you have to change it. You have to find which one is different. So that is the kind of game that we will be creating today. And as always, we've divided it into 3 sections so everyone can follow along. For the basic section, we're going to make a 2x2 grid of images manually. So we're going to be dragging it to place a location. And then using the click interaction, we're going to find the odd one. But on the upgrade version, we're going to use a variable to pick an odd one randomly. So before, it will always be in the same spot, but with this upgraded version, you'll be able to change it around. Also, this is Melody's secret sauce, a hack, but she's going to use a for loop to simplify the image settings and kind of automate a lot of the stuff. And for all of you visual scripting masters out here, we have a challengers course. We're going to try to add a timer limitation and set rounds to increase difficulty. Ooh. Melody, what do you think of this course? Do you think it's comprehensive? Do you think it's going to be hard? Do you have any words before going in?
Yeah, I feel like we are super ambitious to achieve all this, but let's try. Yeah.
Yes, let's do it. Okay, I'm going to transition us over to Melody's screen.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, are everyone ready to dive into today's section?
Yes.
And, yeah, and as Celine mentioned, so we're gonna make like this mini game, find the odd one, to cover the knowledge of using visual scripting like variables. And we're gonna start it from the like a basic part, and then going to like a little bit like trying to improve it a little bit more. Yeah, step by step things. Okay. So as we mentioned, like the logic of find the odd one is actually like setting several different objects. And in here, we're going to say like images, right? And there is only one of it is different from the others. And we needed to click on the screen and trying to pick the special one, the odd one. So actually, if you turn that logic into the game logic terms, is actually like we use like this is how we use variable to do that. So actually, we use a variable to save the odd one that we preset it, and later we need to make a comparison if the one we clicked is the same as the variable, the odd one variable. So that is the kind of like the technical term to explain this little game. Okay, so let's start. The first thing is I have already like import the assets here, and as we mentioned, like all the cute assets are from our assets library. So it's loading. Okay, cool.
Melody,
So,
from the asset library, what is your favorite asset? There is a bunny series with like 30 different bunnies, and I have to say that one is my favorite.
actually, like the food section is my favorite. That's where I find it. It's so cute and fluffy, like like a food characters here. You see, and I think this is perfect for making this like a find the odd one game, because for each like a vegetable or fruit, it has like a normal one and has like the one with the little eyes, super cute. So because I really like this pink color, so that's why I choose the donut here. But if you want it, or when you're making your own like a game, you can try to choose whatever you want, like the broccoli or like this eggplant. Yes, whatever like assets you wanted. Just trying to show, like go to face stickers and go to food categories, and you can find all these cute assets here. And also, as Celine mentioned, we have like this other cute assets category. Yeah, trying to find the best that fit your game there. So I
Oh,
just
Melody, I think your Asset Studio tab might not be showing. Do you on the tab?
oh, okay. So let me try to
Yeah, I think you might have
wait.
to share full screen, but I have funny comments that I want to read with you guys. So last episode was the subgraph episode, right? And at the end, I said, hey, if you guys have a recommendation for all of the subgraphs that you guys want to be, that you guys use often, can you please link it to us or share it with us so that we know how it is used, plus how it we other people can get inspiration for, like, oh my gosh, this kind of subgraph exists. So I went to our specialists, I went to our ambassadors and asked them, and I'm going to read to you some of the comments. Paula Casado said, hi Celine, I personally created many subgraphs of the things I use the most since it's a very fast shortcut, but of the native effect house ones, these are the ones that I use the most. Number one is draggable image. It is great to integrate into games with direct interaction with the screen and very easy to use. I do agree. I see a lot of people using the draggable image subgraph to make fun, like 2D games or something that you can interact with on the screen. The second one is mouth or eyes close events are my favorite for facial expressions. With them, it's much easier for me to use the easy movement detection patch. So I think that is amazing. And as always, Hiroyuki, also known as herostudio.com, gave a list of like 6 subgraphs that they use often. They said convert the position of 720 by 1280 screen resolution into position of 0 to -1. And they've even quoted and said, I want it as an official node. And I agree. I feel like I also use a lot of these subgraphs. They also use calculate the angle between two 2D objects and collision detection to see are the 2D objects hit, running every n seconds, wait for n frames, or getting the FPS, the frames per second. I also have like so many creators here from different regions. Florentia, you're also in the chat right now, right? Florentia is saying, I've been working on a collider game, so I reused and transformed one subgraph and remade it to make more when the collision happens. So now it's her favorite subgraph. So her list is touch, drag, and drop, is colliding with object, and the Augo counter. The last week's stream, we ran a poll about you guys' favorite subgraphs, and Augo counter won first place by like 50%. So I'm so happy to see that the Augo counter lives on, even though we released a counter module. But I think that just shows how amazing that subgraph was. But it seems like Melody is back online, so let me transition over to her page again.
To like find the assets we probably need to use in this mini game. So as I mentioned, I find the old one and also find the texture for the rest, like normal images there. And here I'm trying to find like a confetti effect to see like if I click the right one, find the old one, what will happen. So like make a confetti, like a celebration effect is the usual how to say, like events that I will try to set it for game. See. Okay, before that, let's try to create a container to save all these images here. And what we do is we trying to get the index 1 of this the child scene object here. I will explain this later, but let me try to connect these lines first.
Florencia is saying, "Yay! I just launched one game that never thought I understand." So, oh, it's so nice to see Florencia just create an amazing game and publish it. I I I had this experience also where I had an idea in my head like Harimaru, but I had no idea like how to bring it to life. And I feel like by trying a bunch of things, exploring the templates, or attending demos like this and asking questions is how I learned visual scripting. But when I first started, I was so intimidated because it looked super scary, right? But the more you do it, the you figure things out, and when you find out that, oh my gosh, I can now bring this idea that I just had in the corner of my mind into an actual fully formed effect. And the best part of it, I feel like, is to see people enjoy it and be like, wow, this is the best filter ever. It just brings me to such joy, and I'm glad that you guys are all here and that you guys are excited about learning. Thank you so much for being here with us, guys, and I hope that we can be that guide that helps you bring your imaginations to reality. Yeah,
Okay.
Florencia, who is an ambassador, is saying totally was scared at the beginning. So just by being here, you guys are making a massive step. Okay, it seems like Melody is set up.
Yeah, almost there. Let me just trying to
Ooh, it
like
seems like she's using a lot of repeated code. If August saw this, August might be like, hey, this is something for a subgraph.
yeah, of course. I'm just trying to start from the easiest part, and then we can try to wrap the repeating parts, so that will be easier for understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just try. 1 second. Something a little bit confetti. Okay, get the thing object. If I click this one, it's trigger. Oh, okay, because I didn't set the confetti. Okay. See. Okay, cool. I think now it's working. So, okay, let me explain this one. So for the first part, at the beginning of the game, we just set it like an odd index, trying to point it one object inside this container to be the odd one, right? So we set like a number 1, which is like a 0, 1, which is this screen image 1 should be the odd one. Okay, and later after we pick that index, we just trying to create it like a variable called like odd object to save that same object as the odd one. So here, this is how we do that. We get this like a container thing object, and we use this get children thing objects, this node, to add this one. It will return an array of all these like thing objects under this container. So, and we are trying to get it the object from this array. And which one we want to get it is actually like the index. The index should be equal to this odd index. And we save that thing object to this odd object. So now actually what we got it here. So for the odd index is actually we are trying to like point it which one in this array should be the odd one. And later we create another like odd object variable and save the odd thing object into this variable. Okay, so with these two variables, what we can do next is when we click the images of like no matter which one, we are just trying to compare if the clicked image is the same as the odd object we saved before. So here, this is like the logic. I said it one by one. I mean, it's probably a little bit like repeating, but we can try to improve it later. So August, don't be like when you see this like a mass like node settings, don't be angry, and we can try to improve it later. Okay, cool. So as I mentioned, like for the first image, we're trying to get that image component and set it uses screen image tab to say, okay, if I tap this screen image and let's try to detect it, if your clicked image is equal to our odd scene object. If it is equal, then we will trigger this like a confetti effects to happen, right? So we just make it like a four like a sets of this image tab to detect it. So which means like for the first one, if you click it, you see if we click it, but actually it's not matching this object, so it won't trigger the confetti. And for the second one, like screen image one, screen image one, this one, if we click it, so actually this one is matching the odd object, then it triggered the confetti effect. So actually we already achieved the basic structure and like make sure of the logic of this game. So this is kind of like my habit when develop like a complicated mini games. I will first trying to achieve the effect and then trying to improve it step by step. Okay, cool. So what do we wanted to improve now? Because at the first, we just pointed one, like pointed which one should be the odd one, right? The more interesting thing is like, what if we wanted to pick a random object to be the odd one, right? So now let's try to improve it. We can do like a random, and so the index number should within the length, so it should be like from 0 to 3, right? And to be more clear, we can try to get the container and also like get the child scene object, and you see it will get the array. So if we get the array, we can also get the array info. So the array info is actually the length of the array. So then we can connect it to log the random range from 0 to the maximum number of this like range of this scene object, sorry, of this array. And then because if you pick the number of this random, it's actually like a float number, but we wanted like an integer number for setting this odd index. So what we can do is trying to use like a round index. So by using this one, the return of this random number will always be integer. Okay, let's set it here. And oh, one more thing, we haven't really triggered.
You guys might be watching this, and if you already have some visual scripting knowledge, you might be like, oh my gosh, no, there's a better way to do that, or there's a different way to do that. Don't worry, we have a session planned for all of you who's thinking like this. Next Monday, our interactive engineer and a project manager is going to be teaching a course named No Right Answer, No Correct Answers, Only Good Ones. So it's going to be teaching you guys how there are multiple ways of visual scripting that can achieve the exactly same effect. So you can, let's say, move something over by using transit by time or lerp, but each one has different strengths and weaknesses, but the same outcome. So tune in next Monday for that amazing episode. But back to Melody.
Cool, thank you. Yeah, so actually we already set the part that pick a random number to set this odd index, and we can pick like a use pick to check the return variable here. So you see we just logged the random number as an integer, and actually the range of it is from 0 to 3. Okay, so now we've set it the odd index and refresh it. Okay, there is no change here. Why? Because even we find the odd index, but we didn't really set the image to be the odd image, right? So, okay, next, what we can do is trying to set the odd one image to be the real odd image. Let me try to subgraph this part so it will save some space. Okay, so for this one, we are trying to generate it like a random index for odd, for the odd one, for the odd. Okay, so this wall looks much cleaner. Okay, and now what we want to do is when we set it, we make sure, okay, this one should be the odd one, and then we will want it to set the the image of it. What do we need to do? Okay, so actually from here, we're trying to find it, the scene object, by using this odd index, right? Okay, so this one from here, this is actually returning the scene of the odd scene object. And what we want to do is get a component. And we can try to get the image component because we're trying to set the image to be the odd one. And from here, we see set image. Okay, and if that scene object be the odd one, we're gonna choose the donuts has no eyes. And the image info. Okay, and the rest should keep the original setting. So we can just connect it, the original information there. And we were just trying to change the texture here. Okay, and let's connect this green lines to make sure it's got triggered. Okay, cool. I think it should, 1 second. Oh, okay, that's because I preset it. Let's just preset it. Everything should be nice. Okay, and let's refresh it. Okay, now I think it's working. So every time you refresh it, it will pick like a random scene object from our container and set it that odd one and set it the image for it. So every time when you refresh it, you see the odd one will changing the position, will changing through these 4 images. So we already succeed to pick a random one as the odd one. Okay, and next what are we gonna do is trying to improve about this interaction part. Okay, so the logic for this one is for each image we set this a logic to see if we tap this image, let's try to compare if it is matching with this odd scene object, right? But imagine if you are trying to have a more scene object in there. For example, if I just duplicate it, have maybe one more, and let's try to put it, every time when I'm trying to click it, it's hard to move it, but let's manually move it through this position setting there. Okay, so imagine if you have a more images or objects, you needed to repeat setting this one by one, which is really how to say not a really good idea, and also waste a lot of efforts to do the repeating work. Okay, so let's try to optimize it. Instead of think about click each image and compare it with the odd one, let's think about no matter where you click on the screen, let's detect it if that a clicked point is inside of your odd scene object. If it is inside this scene object, then actually we find it, right? So instead of using screen image tab, we can try to use, let me just delete them all and improved our click interaction here. So instead of using when you when you tap you see actually we have these two different types of tab interaction. The first one is called screen tab. Second is called screen image tab. So previously we are using screen image tab, which already makes sure like which image you're gonna click there. But now we're gonna use like a screen tab. And the logic is we're gonna detect it no matter where I clicked it, if my click is inside that image area. To do that, actually, we also gonna use like a point in rect and rect vertex to rect. Okay.
Melody, is there a reason why we're using screen tab plus this vertex to rectangle instead of using screen image tab?
Yeah. As I mentioned, like for if we are using image tab, right? So where is image tab? Yeah. If we are using image tab, you needed to set that image tab for each image, right? So imagine if you have like a 20 or 30, you just needed to keep like a repeating that logic,
Yeah.
right? It's not like dynamic things is not elegant, but within using this one, we actually just detected like no matter where I clicked, if my clicked point is inside some specific area, if it is inside this odd image area, we already find it, right? It
So
doesn't
we're
need to
using this to kind of like automate so we don't have to create. Right now it's 6, but later on we're going to show you how you can increase difficulty and maybe have 30 on the screen. And you don't want to
Yeah.
be doing screen image tab, have 30 subgraphs of screen image tab. So this is why Melody is using to automate. I wish I knew this skill when I was creating my heart studio tap template because at the time I think I had like a 16 image, like a 4x4, and I was manually creating screen image tap for each of the components, and I wish I knew this. So thank you, Melody.
Yeah. I'm also like learning from my experience, so I'm glad to share it with all of you. Yeah. Transform info. Okay, and we got the position, we got the signs. What we want to do is multiplying this one and trying to use this to sub this and trying to use this one to add it. Okay, so now we have the bottom left and we have the top right. And this is the rect. Man, sometimes it's just a... Okay, cool. Okay, let me explain it here. So this is actually the key like a node. The function of this one is, as I mentioned, is actually detected if the point that you clicked is inside like a rectangle, inside like an area. So this is your detect point. For example, if I like use a screen tab, and it will detect the position of where I clicked, and then within this point in rect, it will detect it if my mouse is inside like a certain area on the screen. And for this part, the mathematics I'm doing here is actually trying to find the specific area, the rectangle area of this odd object. So here what I'm doing is we used the odd thing object and get its screen transform. And here for the screen transform information, I just use the position and the size of it to actually make a rectangle here. So here, like you see, is when if you're trying to like make a rectangle, it's actually find it the bottom bottom left point and the top like a right point, and then you can get like a rectangle. So this is the function is trying to like make a rectangle based on the left corner point and the top right corner point and make that rectangle. So the function in here, as I mentioned, is trying to find the specific area, the rectangle area of this odd one. And then we just use this screen tab. You see, like when you do screen tab, it will return the position where you clicked. Usually, like you need to connect it here and trying to detect it if it's matching, if the clicked point is inside that area. But the thing you need to pay attention here is for the rectangle area is actually using the like a screen size. So which is the whole screen size is 720 by like a 1280. But if you take a pic of this screen tab area, you see it's actually the range is from this corner is like a 0, 0. And from the top right corner is actually 1, 1. So we needed to do some like a remap of the clicked point. And by the way, remap is my favorite like a subgraph because I just use it a lot. So let's try to do the remap of the tabbed position here. So as I mentioned, previously, the screen tab, it will return the range from 0 to 1. But what we wanted is transform the position from 0, 1 to, actually should be 360, negative 360 to 360. So the width of our screen is actually like a 720. And if we, and the original point is 0. So the left boundary of it will be negative 306, and the right boundary will be 360. Okay, we're gonna do the similar things for the height. Also, the range is from 0 to 1, and this top should be 64, I think. Oh, it should be negative 64. Okay, and then we're gonna combine these two numbers together.
How did you come to these numbers? Just by experimentation?
No. I mean, the number is actually, as I mentioned, like for the screen tab, you see, if I tap here, the returning like number is 0, 0, almost 0, 0, right? So for the left corner, the original point of this one is actually 0, 0. And for the top right one is 1, 1. So which means it's normalized the screen from 0, from this 0 to 0 and 0 to 0. So imagine you just have like a coordinate. And for this one, the origin of this coordinate is at the left corner, is here. If you say my mouse click, is actually here. And from here to here, this one should be like a 1, 0, and this one should be 0, 1, and here it should be 1, 1. So imagine there is like a coordinate from here, and what we want to do is transfer this coordinated to the real screen transfer coordinate. So the real screen transfer coordinate is the origin is actually the center of the screen. So the center of the screen should be 0, 0. And the whole width of the screen is actually 720. So you see I have like a, just to make a test there. So you see I have image, right? You see the size in here, the full screen size of this image is actually like 720 by 1280. Which means the width of it is 720, right? But the origin is 0, is in the center. So which means like at the left part, what is the at the left part actually is like a negative 360. So that's why we're mapping it to negative 360 for the width.
Nice.
Okay, and for the height is actually like a 640. Yeah, so here. So we are just trying to do like coordinate like transform by using remap. Okay, so here by using like a remap, we are already like transform the screen click to the real like a screen transfer.
For this screen transfer, do you is there an existing subgraph? I think maybe this was the one that herostudio.com was talking about in earlier when I asked him like, hey, what are your most used subgraphs? I'll get back to you guys and find out what the name of this subgraph is.
Cool. If there is not, we probably can add it into our asset library there. But this is super useful. Yeah, trying to transfer the screen tab coordinate to the real screen transfer there. Okay, so let's try to connect it here. And what we want to do is if the click is inside that area, we're gonna also set it the confetti to be visible. Okay, let's try. So if I click here, yay, I think we just did it. So we just use like this graph, and we have already achieved the click interaction there. So no more repeating like a screen image tab. We just use this one. And no matter like if I'm trying to increase the more images, like let's try to, man, every time when I try to drag it, just to drag the background there. Maybe move it a little bit up. So no matter like how many images you have, it will still working. So that is the good thing.
The confetti and the donuts are
interaction.
really giving me party vibes. I feel like I'm at a birthday party. Yes.
Cool. Okay. So any question for this part, like why we using this like a point interact instead of like an image tab? So just trying to recap here for this part, I can create a subgraph here. We are trying to transfer screen tab position into real screen transform coordinate. Okay, and for this part is we find this odd thing object, and we trying to define the rectangle around it. This there is a rectangle, right? So we're trying to define the rectangle area of this odd one. And if the click is inside this rectangle, we already find it. But if you click other areas, it's actually not inside it. So it won't trigger the confetti effects. That's a really good thing to like when you do like a click to find stuff. Yeah. And the good thing of this one is it's super dynamic. So no matter like how many images you like increased underneath this one, you still this will still like working. You don't need to do like a repeating image tab interaction there. Yeah. Okay, so what are we gonna do next? Let me see. Like get odd object. Okay. So okay, since we seems like we already achieved most part of the game, what are we gonna do next? Oh, okay. The last thing wanted to show you is about how to set a dynamic grid. Before that, any questions or things we wanted to learn?
I'm going to transition back to the agenda page so we can catch up on where we were doing. Melody showed us this grid, 2x2 grid of images, and set. We made it manually, and we did the click interaction. But now we just did an upgrade version where we used a variable to pick one randomly and a for loop to automate the image setting. We used the point in rectangle. And then lastly, we use the row and column subgraph to set the graph automatically.
Here. So now this like a little game allow me to like click several times until I find the outline, right? But we can set some limitation there. So we just allowed it clicked one time. What we can do is trying to create another variable and see to track if it is clicked. So and set the Boolean type for this one, and the default value set false. And
Melody, Florentia has a question also, so let me know when
sure.
you're done with this section.
Okay, sure. So we can quickly set it here. So this is just my personal habit. Like every time when I have a variable, I'll just reset it at the beginning. Okay, so clicked will trying to track if you have already like clicked the screen, because you only have like a one time to choose the odd one, right? So in here, like when we do screen tap, what we can do is just trying to detect it. If this clicked means false, then excuse me, then it means it haven't tapped, right? So clicked if it is equal false, then we're gonna trigger to find the odd one. Otherwise, nothing will happen there. And also, after you clicked it, you need to set this state to false, to true. So next time when you clicked it, it will never trigger that again. Okay, let's try. So if I clicked, okay, I already clicked that. And if after that, I clicked the right one, it won't trigger anything because you already failed this game. But if the first time when I clicked the right one, it will trigger. So that is also a common use, like a common usage of variable to set a Boolean and trying to detect your game state. Or if you have something you wanted to log, probably just click the screen once or trigger something once. After you triggered, you just after you trigger, you just set it the state to false or true, false or true to switch the this variable state. So next time it won't be triggered. So this is really like a common usage of like a Boolean variable to detect the state. Okay, yeah, Celine, feel free to bring up the question there. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Florentia was asking, this can use, they want to ask if they can use a circle as a screen detection point instead of the rectangle. Right now, I think we have the point in rectangle, but can you make it into a circle? So, for example, they want to create, drag a donut and put it in a basket, and the basket is that circle. So they want to see if we can do a circle detection.
Oh, okay. So if that is case, I mean, because for point in rect, it's already, if you use this node, actually it's already logged to like a rectangles, like a shape. But if you wanted to detect the circle things, I feel like what she described it sounds like can use collision to do that. So for example, you can try to add if it is 2D image, you can try to add oh, okay, this vision doesn't have the 2D physics. But with our latest vision, we have the 2D physics. And the same thing is like for 3D physics, you can have this like a sphere collider. So just trying to assign this collider, this one is like a circle or sphere shape. And then you can set like a collision detection to that. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Again, guys, no correct answer, only good ones. So in this case, we are
Yeah.
using the point in rectangle node, but you can also use the colliders to detect. So there's multiple different ways to make it. Come to Runs' Monday session.
Cool. So the last things, I'm not sure how many times we have, but last things I wanted to show is about like use a grid subgraph to do like a auto like grid and control it through like a row and column setting there. So here, I just prepare like this layout in grid, this subgraph, and I think we can show it later after this section. So the great things about this one is actually we already set the rows, columns, space, and item scales. So instead of just like manually manipulate the position of each object, we can use this one to form like a really like a uniform like a grid there. So okay, let's try that. So trigger and the objects to layout. This one is actually the array. So instead of like a plus 1 by 1, we can use the similar things is get the container and get a child thing object. And then we just put connected array in here. Okay, and okay, I think it's already working, you see? So the rows here, I said like a 2, and the columns like 2, and spacing is like a 240. And let's trying to different things here.
What?
You
That
see?
was so crazy. I love that.
Yeah, it's already working. And you can also trying to tweak the spacing here and
Wow.
item size. So this one is super useful.
And you guys can also see that the number, like where the hidden donut is also changing, right?
Yeah. It's also changing. Like it's everything is like dynamic and automatically.
Oh my
So
gosh. This is incredible because we didn't manually set it, but we used a bunch of techniques and for loops and subgraphs to create this kind of automated find the odd one game. You can technically make it go endlessly, like give people a timer and see how many people can go up to, and you can do a different mechanic saying like for every 5 effects that has passed, add an additional row, or
yeah,
if you do something,
exactly.
add additional column so that you can increase difficulty, and then people would be like, I have the world record in find the odd one donuts edition.
Definitely. And one more thing I wanted to mention about using this subgraph is, you see in here, I think in total we have like 8 thing object, right? There is in total like 8. But in here, like if you put like 4 rows and 2 columns, and in total it should be 8 exactly, right? So nothing will be happen. But if you increase it, so actually in total, it needs like a 16 to form this grid. But actually inside this container, we only have 8. So that's why it doesn't like a showing as the what expected from this row and columns. So what you need to do is you can try to duplicate it and create it as much as you can. So just trying to make sure the scene object inside this container is like enough to form this grid. Yeah, so that is a tip here.
That is a super tip. Speaking of, we also had a poll going about our favorite variable type. The options are number, scene object, vec3, and texture 2D. Melody, can you guess which one won?
What is the option there? Like a scene object, float, what else?
Number, scene object,
Uh-huh.
vec3, and texture 2D.
I think texture 2D.
Really? It's a really close one between two of the different options. Guys, let me know in the chat right now which one do you think won? Oh, I
Okay.
guess you guys can
Wait,
already see if you voted.
but no one voted for Boolean? Boolean is my favorite one.
No, there's only four options. So I was debating
Oh,
between putting Boolean or something else,
okay,
but
okay.
the winning vote is scene object with
Uh,
37%, and the second one is number by 32%. I'm actually a little heartbroken because my favorite is texture 2D. I think texture 2D variable type is so cool, but it's only at
yeah.
its third place, and vec3 following last with 14%.
Okay, okay, cool. Celine, are we already about the time?
Yes, if you have a little, if you want to carry on, I feel like we can.
Okay, probably just some small little tips
Okay, sounds
here.
good.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, wanted to say like there are some challenges or like things you can do after this live. So from the
Ooh.
demo video, you see actually like we set different rounds for this game, right? We set like four rounds. So each rounds like it will increase the difficulty. So the good thing of using this layout in Grid is you can try to create it like variables, for example, like a grid setting. So for this grid setting, we can put like a vector 4 here. So why we need a vector 4 is because we have row, columns, spacing, and item scale. So we can use this one to control the row, column, and space and items for each round. So you can split it this one and connect it to here. So X will represent the row number, Y will represent the spacing number, and W will representing the item scale one. And one more thing is, if you wanted to increase the difficulty and like add some rounds for this game, is you can make this as an array. So the first round, we just want it to be like a 2 rows by 2 columns, and the spacing can be 240, and the size could be 200. And for the second round, we can make it crazy by like a 4 by 4, and trying to tweak the space a little bit and maybe like the size. So this one you can preset it. So you see you can make an array for like round 1. This will get the row and column setting. And for round 2, it will get 4 by 4 grid, and the size and space you can preset it, and also can increase the rounds of it. So yeah, so for here, you can try to get item from the array. So you see, for if I get the first round, it will create it 2 by 2. But if I go second round, it will be 4 by 4. So this is another way to create it like a grid setting and make it an array. And for each round, you just preset it, the column and the rows for each rounds. Yeah. So trying to use this trick and created like a rounds games. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds perfect. We do have a couple questions from Florentia saying, can you combine this with 2D physics? Like, for example, if you have a screen image and one is falling and you have to interact with it.
Yeah, I think we can do that to combine with 2D images, like a 2D physics there. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Guys, it's been such a pleasure seeing you and meeting you guys. All of the projects that we've created will be in our forum page, which you can see right here. So don't forget to go check out our forums. You can go to community.effecthouse.com, and when you go here, you'll be able to see a course that's a section that's named Crash Course Visual Scripting. If you click in here, you'll be able to see Subgraph Secrets, which was our first course, and Versatile Variables, our second course for today. So here, make sure you go and what should be the question of today? I want to ask you guys to kind of recreate your version of this, maybe using the project file that Melody's going to share. Make your Find an Odd One game, and also add your little quirks. Right now, we didn't have an opportunity to add our favorite things like the timer or the challenge game levels. So if you can work on that and make it an even better version, that would be amazing. And guys, for the qualifications of this course, you guys are also going to need to publish an effect. So by working on this project and publishing it, you're killing two birds with one stone. Actually, such a funny story from my friend and an amazing community manager, Nanda, Philananda, who's in charge of our EU region. She was talking to a friend, and the friend said, like, oh, I thought it was killing one bird with two stone to make sure that the bird is extra dead. But you will be killing two birds with one stone this time. So make sure to go check out our template. And we're going to go and review all of the super amazing work from subgraphs that people have commented. So thank you, Joe, Damon, and Hobie. Oh, I see Hobie's on the chat right now. Let's see. Damon had, this is a subgraph of a switch. It's basically a flip-flop node. When an action is taken, it flips the visibility of the objects, and they're named the switch node, and it's created like this. So thank you, Damon, for sharing this. This looks really cool. For Joe, here's a subgraph I created for one of my recent projects. The idea was to show if you would have been drafted playing off the popular birthday effects. The subgraph allows me to duplicate these effects with a little more ease now. I named it Month Mater. Ooh, oh, these are the things where you get to input your birthday, and then it gives you different options. I think this is super cool, and you can go check out the subgraph in our forum, so don't forget to head over there. And for Hobie, let's see. In the process, I use the subgraph to integrate an emotion detector into a conditional system to control object visibility. Guys, why are you guys so cool? Stop being so cool. I established direct connection between the detected emotions, happy, sad, or neutral, and the appearance or disappearance of the corresponding object. This allowed the object to be visible when an emotion was active and to disappear when the emotion ended or changed. So this is what the subgraph looks like, and here is the emotion. Look at the emoji and Runza. Oh, Runza, this is the person who will be here on Monday to teach us correct answers. No correct answers, only good answers. So definitely come see if you want to see our Effect House model in real life. And this Friday, we will have Chinyu, which is our amazing technical community manager, who you guys must have seen. Chinyu, are you on the screen? Do you want to come say hi? Wait, let me No, I didn't get to see you yet. I'm gonna... She's here. So you guys are gonna see her on Friday. So definitely come. And if you guys post an effect that you created using the base project, we will review it like this one on the Friday stream. So definitely go and check it out if you want to show off your cool Find the Odd One template. So thank you everyone for being with us. It was so wonderful. We will gather all of this project file and link it in our forum post. So definitely go check it out, and you will also be able to see it in the link below. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye. See you.